Hello, my name is Antonio Carluccio, and I am here to talk about my passion for food, show you a few of my recipes, and discuss the importance of diet for the protection and management of your heart health. I am charmed to join Trudy today, and I hope that you will see that looking after your heart health can be both enjoyable and easy to do.
Antonio, welcome and thank you for joining us here today for Make Your Heart Feel Good. Life today is so busy, rushing around, grabbing food on the go, etc. What can we do to take us back to basics to have good, healthy food?
Well, for certainly don't go very quickly into a place and grab something just to fill up your stomach. This is number one. Number two, it is actually the result of our society today to eat partly not healthy food. If you remember, no, you don't, but I do. After the war, people they were much healthier because they didn't have all the excesses of salt, sugar, and all of that. We are the result of our society. But we have to contrast that. We have to check it, we have to think, and think, are you doing right or not? Not just accept what anybody tells you.
I read just recently, and let me get this right, let me read it to you. The World Health Authority recently published an action plan for 2015 to 2020. It showed that of the 6 regions, the European region is the most severely affected by non-communicable diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer and respiratory diseases, which actually account, and this is incredible, for almost 86% of premature deaths.
And these are the dates of today.
Yes, it is.
Because if you confront them, those dates, with what was just after the war, totally different. That means that our habits today, they are totally different, and also the modernity of the so-called economy and so on has made so that many people, they produce food which is not very good for us. It used to be simple, now it's complex and complicated, adding a lot of stuff that we don't want.
Surprisingly, we only need 5 grams of salt per day to function. And yet the majority of us probably have far more than that. How can we address it? What can we do?
Naturally, in nature, a lot of food has already a lot of salt, so you don't need to add to that. And you have to know it. Bacon is an example. But you can enhance flavors, especially with lemon, with spices, with herbs, all the spices, even the chili, that gives a sort of a different dimension to food that you forget the salt. And that's really very extremely important. You have sort of palette of things to use for replacing salt. So it's not necessary to deny you anything that has salt, but to be aware of it. Cheese and all of this, and then make it sort of an average, living very healthily like this. So especially when you produce food, you have to think about the content of things. I came here in 75 actually, and I know now what food is about. I cooked it for all my life, but having a restaurant encourage you and oblige you to observe the diet for other people as well. In practice, you have to use your brain quite a lot. Not just taking for granted that the supermarket does something, for you. No. Check it and see it and read it on the packets as well. And above all, consider that some food in nature has already a lot of salt. So you have to make the balance and think.